moments ago. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the San Francisco 49ers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go on the ground. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll run it here. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. On first down, it's Watson. Flush to his right. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Now, how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case, they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offense coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run with Breida, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
It's taken to the 26. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, down in Glendale. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Room to run inside the 40. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Escaping the pressure right. Open man is QT, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Second and goal from the 1. They get it to him running left. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. Extra point put through by Suckup, and that makes the score 7-0. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of first downs.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
After the interception, here's Taylor. Caught left side by Funchess. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Taylor. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 3rd down, Taylor. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw is Taylor. Funchess with a catch over the middle. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. This is Breida. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. They snap it at 1. Now it's Taylor. He's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a play. For methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot. But when you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
Gold with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said,
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And into the end zone, a pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Richmond.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now it's Watson. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Menardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. On 2nd down, Taylor. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Taylor going to run the option right, finding room at the 30. And the cutback to the sideline. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back with more after this. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Taylor will throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He can run for it, and Taylor hit. He lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. He's at the 40, past the 20, 10, and he will score. It's a touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a 2nd time.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Now Taylor on 1st down. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Room to run past midfield. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. The 20. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans will extend their lead. Extra point put through by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a great return up past the 40, but this one may not stand. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? No legal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. Looking left side, Andrews went with complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Taylor on 1st and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DJ Reader able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Here's Taylor. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Watson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Watson off play action. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Second and 10, it's Taylor again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Watson on 1st down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Watson, and he's going to go down again.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the 1st down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Taylor. A dump down to McKinnon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now, it's Taylor. Flushed out right. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Play action, it's Taylor. And my goodness, another interception. Tedrick Thompson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now it's Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
From the gun, here's Watson. Buying time to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Now Taylor to throw. Screenplay, McKinnon. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'll look to throw here. He finds his target, Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. Finding some room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Back to throw. Going for the deep ball. This is caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Bernardrick McKinney. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. They go play action with Taylor. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to go deep. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Taylor on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And now here is another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point put through by Succop, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
He's going to go up top. And my goodness, another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
No. Check. Patriot.
He'll drop to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Texans on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Texans on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the lead will swell by one more. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Z.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
Gun!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Steps away to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
That boy's got four down. Set! Blue down!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they try the right side here. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out. Now, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! 4 down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.